Alright, so we have a fun one here. So Nassourdine Imavov, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, versus Ian Heinisch. So Heinisch on a bit of a slump, lost 3 out of his last 4 fights. I get they've been against, decent competition, like underrated guys, like guys that you're not going to get too much credit for fighting, but, still, it is dangerous if you lose 4 out of your last 5 fights. It's generally grounds to being cut, but, he's been facing pretty solid competition. I've got to give it to him. For Imavov, he has a 4-inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach advantage. Well, basically a 4-inch reach advantage. But yeah, so I'll break down the strike into these two. Nassourdine, he's always bouncing. He's always, he's always light on his feet. He calls himself the Russian sniper, and that's pretty much exactly what he looks to do with that pull two. He loves that pull two, loves leaning back and then sniping you, after he does, slip your, or not slip, but just kind of lean back to avoid the strike and then, come back with two of his own. And also, tries to snipe you with the straight right when you're closing the distance. I think that's when he's best, when he's trying to snipe and when he's throwing everything, down the pipe. When he's looping shots, he can frequently overextend on a lot of his, right overhands, big left hooks. When he's looping shots, I don't think that's when he's at his best. But he does have a nice lead hand as well, nice push jab, nice lead left hook. But I do think everything is better when he is, keeping it straight. For Ian Heinisch, probably around 80% of his strikes are that step in overhand right. It's very basic, his stand up. And he doesn't set up his power shots at all. Big stutter step, kind of dips his head as well when he is about to throw that big right overhand. So, it's a big tell on that. You can kind of tell when he's about to throw, and the fact that he doesn't set it up doesn't help as well. Heinisch does carry his hands low at all times as well. Like, the dude has a granite chin, but, gotta bring those hands up at some point. Where Nassourdine has struggled in the past is when he's let opponents just kind of pressure him close to the cage and then, try to hold him there or work for takedowns, But, Nassourdine does have some offensive wrestling of his own. I think he was born in Dagestan, I want to say. But yeah, obviously has that wrestling background, born in Dagestan. He has a nice double leg on the fence, Ian Heinisch, very hard guy to hold down. He has a nice Grammy roll to escape the body lock, and he looks to get back to his feet immediately. Very good scrambles as well. And he will go for takedowns of his own. He likes that double leg when the opponents are closing distance on him. He looked for that reactive double a lot on Kelvin Gastelum. So I think he was a little bit uncomfortable on the feet with Gastelum. So yeah, that was the path to victory for him anyway, was the wrestling, but he was doing it a little bit too predictably. And for Nassourdine, his initial scramble is good when he does get taken down, or when he, is in the process of, or when the opponent's in the process of trying to take him down. But, once you do get him flat in his back in the middle of the cage, his get-ups aren't very good. He doesn't have the... He's okay, getting up near the fence, but, if you get him down the middle of the cage, it's quite tough. And that's, a potential here because Heinisch could time a reactive double perfectly, get him down the middle of the octagon, and, that's the round. But, Heinisch he's not a guy that's going to Khabib you on top. He doesn't have the best top control. How these guys win fights, so for Nassourdine, he's quick for a 185er, got fast hands. And for Heinisch, he's durable and he's got a good chin. How these guys lose fights, so for Heinisch, he has subpar takedown defense. As I said before though, good get-ups, good scrambles, but yeah, he can be taken down quite a bit. And for Imavov, I think the fence clinch escapes need work. He's been controlled, on the fence quite easily in the past, especially in the Phil Hawes fight. That'd be a good example of that. But yeah, I think, if he works that out, he can actually be a decent prospect. And he does slow a little bit in the third round in high-paced fights, so, in Heinisch, he's probably better at fighting through fatigue than Imavov, but, both of them, they're pretty grindy, they're pretty successful in fighting through fatigue, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to play too much of a factor here. Past the victory, so for Ian Heinisch, look for forward pressure, look for knees and high kicks when he rolls in close, because Imavov, he does roll, kind of like a boxer would, but, it's a little bit of a dangerous tendency to have in MMA because you open the knees, high kicks off when you're coming up. But yeah, just look to take advantage of that, maybe uppercuts as well. And for Imavov, look to take the front foot. Don't get too over aggressive because he's going to be looking to level change. and just try and make it a stand-up fight for the most part. I favour you standing, and you're not going to fatigue as quickly if you do keep it on the feet. And that's why I think Heinisch should go for a wrestling heavy attack and a fence clinch control heavy attack. Try to make it a really grindy fight, because that will wear on Imavov. And for Imavov, if he's going to try and take you down, or if he, does that stutter step when he's, looking for an overhand, either when he does that stutter step, he's looking for a double leg or a right overhand. If you throw a body kick when he does that stutter step, either if he throws the right overhand, the body kick's going to land and, your head's probably going to be off center line. And if he goes for the double leg, there's a potential that you might catch him on the way down with your shin as he's dipping down for the double leg. So, either the body kick lands or maybe a high kick lands potentially. So I do think that could be sneaky in this fight. But also takedowns at the end of the round. The guy's got to get him back to his feet, but he doesn't have the best takedown defense. So, look to win rounds, or just in close, if it's a close round, look to, ice it with a takedown attempt. How I see the fight going? So I see Imavov being far too slick on the feet for Heinisch. Heinisch is going to, step in. He's going to throw that non-set-up overhand right. And Imavov, he's just going to see it from a mile away and just tag him all night with the counter 2, the pull 2, the counter 3. He's much slicker, much sharper on the feet. I think Heinisch is going to need to make it a dogfight, which, fortunately for him, he's very good at. But I do think he's going to struggle at getting down Imavov, who has very good takedown defense. And I think he's going to struggle to hold him down on the mat, even if he does get him down. Heinisch isn't known for his top control. He's not known for just keeping guys down there and just controlling them. And I think Imavov's going to be able to get back to his feet, even if Heinisch does get him down. Heinisch's most reliable path to victory, in my opinion, is to press Imavov against the fence and just control him in that position. That will wear Imavov out, and then maybe you can start to strike in the second half of the fight, and then maybe that kind of levels the playing field a little bit. But overall, I think it's going to be a classic Ian Heinisch performance, where he's just simply outclassed for the first 2 rounds, and then he digs deep for a mighty 10-9 in round 3, and ultimately losing the contest 29-28 on all judges' scorecards. So that's how I see the fight going. Okay, so if you guys could pretty please like the video, that would be awesome. Alright, so prediction is Imavov by decision. I think he should be quite a sizable favourite too. So yeah, I'm looking to bet Imavov at anything over $1.69 or minus 145. So yeah, getting a pretty decent edge there as well. Imavov decision, $2.50 plus 150. I'm definitely going to get a better price on that, considering the line that's come out. I'm definitely going to bet Imavov as a dog. Going the distance as a hedge, because Heinisch, I can't really see him finishing Imavov, so I guess you're kind of hedging a Heinisch decision if he ekes a split decision or something like that. Not expecting it, but it's always good to have insurance. And Imavov's, Heinisch is very tough as well, so he's very hard to finish. So I don't see a finish in this one at all. $1.50 or minus 200 for going the distance. So yeah, at the current price, I'll bet that.